Welcome to another episode of Realistic Fitness, SCGPirates.com, brought to you by Adidas. As always, I'm Seton Hall Strength and Conditioning Coach Angelo Gingerelli. And as I said several times on this show, I don't know everything, and when there's something I want to learn more about, I try to find a good guest that can teach us all about a new and exciting topic. And this week is no exception. We have former Big East baseball player, current graduate student, and one of the first people I know to adapt to their paleo lifestyle, Jordan McGillis. Jordan, thanks for joining us today. I appreciate taking time out of your final schedule and sitting down and telling us and all the Realistic Fitness fans about the Paleo Diet.
Angelo, it's my pleasure to be here. Thank you.
Let's get started real quick. Where does the Paleo Diet come from? What is it based on science-wise? And why do you think it's become so popular in the last 6 months to a year?
Okay, so to start with the background on where this diet came from and what the roots of it are scientifically. It's based on evolutionary biology, and people who are proponents of this diet are looking at the whole spectrum of human history and realizing that for many millions of years humans lived on a hunter-gatherer diet where we were eating meats and vegetables and berries, things that we could find in the wild, and only in the last 10,000 years we've transitioned to an agricultural diet in which we're eating a lot of grain products and things that we were unable to eat prior to the agricultural revolution 10,000 years ago. So Paleo is basically trying to get back to our human roots and get us in tune with what our true biological nature is. Now, what that means in practice is that you're totally eliminating grains and grain byproducts from your diet, so that means sugar as well. Also, there's a lot of oils and things like that which are no longer or which are not part of the diet. So what it's based on is basically meats and vegetables and healthy fats. As far as its popularity, I really think that the popularity is entirely due to the power of the internet. I, for one, had never heard of this diet, never known anyone who was on it until around a year ago. And then someone that I follow her blog. She started blogging about it, and she implemented it into her life, and it went really well. So I became interested. I looked at some other blogs, found some people, an online community that is just absolutely obsessed with this. They just think it has really improved their lives. So I thought, hey, why not? This sounds like it makes sense scientifically, and all these people are giving it rave reviews. So through basically the power of the internet, it's really taken the country by storm and a lot of the Western world.
To get back to the diet real quick before we get into anything else, where are the majority of your calories coming from? You said basically meat and vegetables. Are there any specific ones we're looking at? And are there any foods besides grain that are just completely banned from the paleo diet?
Yeah, so it's based on meats and vegetables, but a lot of times you're not able to get all the calories you would need from simply meats and vegetables, so you have to augment that with some sort of healthy fat. So my typical meal will be based on a meat. It will have some veggies thrown in there, but then a lot of the calories, probably most of the calories, come from some sort of healthy fat source, whether it's olive oil or avocado or nuts, things like that. So I'm going to go get a salad after we're done here, and I'm going to get a lot of chicken on there. I'm going to have some cucumbers, some other vegetables, maybe some greens, but most of the calories will be from the avocado I throw in and the olive oil and some seeds and nuts.
Okay, it covers the basic foodstuffs and where the calories come from really well. What are we looking at as far as how this food can be prepared, how these meats and vegetables can be served, and how we should consume them? And as far as beverages, what are we looking at as far as restrictions?
Okay, preparation is the most difficult part about this because you'll run into problems anytime you're out at a restaurant, things like that, if you want to do it strict. And the reason for that is that the Paleolithic era, when humans were in that part of history, we were unable to have access to things like soy and corn, and now soy and corn are the primary oils that are used in cooking. So if you go out to a restaurant and you get a meal, you won't even know it, but more than likely it will be cooked in either soybean oil or corn oil. So when you're preparing your own food, you have to find other options in the preparation. So I use coconut oil and olive oil for mine, and at restaurants sometimes just have to bite the bullet, but that is the biggest difficulty is food preparation.
Gotcha. How about beverages? What kind of beverage restrictions are we looking at?
One of the essential parts of the diet is not having any excess or additional sugar put in. So any sodas, completely out. Juices even are usually not consumed by people on this diet. Though juice comes from fruit, typically it's the sugary components of the fruit are all that's extracted for that juice. So it would have detrimental effects on your blood sugar level, things like that, and that's something most people do keep close tabs on. So all sugary drinks are out, and then alcoholic beverages are another kind of quandary for most people who are paleo. the way I go about it, and I think this is probably traditional, is drinking some alcohols and not others. And the distinction between which ones you would have and which ones you wouldn't have are which ones have the grain components which we're unable to digest, so namely gluten. And my diet's completely gluten-free, so I don't drink beer whatsoever, but I'm perfectly fine with having wine. I'm fine with having spirits, liquors, because those, in the distillation process, it removes all those grain toxins. So basically, beer is out, wine, spirits are A-okay.
Okay, good. That's interesting. You said earlier you've been in a paleo lifestyle for just about a year now. What have you seen as far as differences in how you feel, how you perform athletically, and how you look over the last, say 10 to 12 months since you've really been immersed in this lifestyle?
From a physical standpoint, there have been some definite changes, and it actually wasn't gradual at all. It was very rapid. My body fat dropped within a month of starting this lifestyle. I shed a lot of body fat. I went from, I believe, around a 10.5% body fat percentage to now yesterday tested at 8.8, so it's been pretty considerable. In the meantime, I've actually gained a lot of weight. I've gained 8 pounds. So I've evidently been building muscle mass while on this diet. Now, as far as performance, it's a bit problematic because this diet is, by its very nature, low in carbohydrates. Not that that's the focus of it, but it just tends to be because you're not eating sugary things or grains. And that can have detrimental effects to your endurance in certain sports. So it's very important to make sure you replenish with some sort of healthy carbohydrate source after exercising, like a fruit or a sweet potato, some sort of tube or something like that. So as far as performance, it's important to really pay close attention to where your calories are coming from, because if you're just eating fats and proteins, you may not have the energy you need for whatever you're trying to take on.
Great. Jordan, man, I really appreciate you coming out and taking some time out of your schedule and talking to Realistic Fitness about this, probably the most popular diet trend right now in the spring of 2012. Thanks a lot. Good luck with finals and have a good summer.
Thank you.
Okay, so that's going to wrap it up, not just for this episode, but for the whole second season of Realistic Fitness. But we have time for one more viewer question, and it comes from Jeff from Toms River, New Jersey. Jeff is probably our #1 fan. He's written in probably a dozen times this year. And this is the first question he wrote out that I feel is appropriate to answer. And he wants to know what is my favorite and least favorite episode from season 2. All right, Jeff, my least favorite episode is not because anything we did. It was just kind of a bad idea. Was the Rock episode of baseball. And they're great guys. They're really funny and personal. What we did was they had just run 8 miles pretty much all uphill, the hardest run they go on all year. They crossed the finish line. I threw a camera in their face. They're like, hey guys, be funny and engaging. And it came through a little bit, but not as much as it would if we would have gave them time to cool down. So that was my bad. I should have let them recover before I tried to put them on camera. My fault on that one. My favorite episode, I thought we did a lot of really good ones, but I think my favorite one right now is the Avengers one I got to do with Pete Dill. I got to, we shouted out Ghostface Killer. We threw a Black Sabbath sample in there. Kind of mixed up all my favorite things: working out, comic books, rappers, and whenever you get a chance to work with Pete Dill, you got to always take advantage of that. So I thought that was definitely the best one we did about 2 episodes ago, the Avengers episode, which is still up on the website now, obviously. So that's going to do it. As always, I'm Angelo Gingerelli. I'd like to thank SHUPirates.com and thank Adidas. I thank everybody that works on the show and every single viewer that puts us on their Facebook or tweets about it or emails it to a friend and lets people know what we're doing and appreciates that we're able to, I think, get a lot of good information out there and be entertaining in the process. That's going to wrap it up for Realistic Fitness Season 2. Keep training, and we'll see you in September.